If you wish to block any future calls of this nature, dial 7 now. To decline this call, hang up.
Hey, hey man, it's always good to hear from you, man. I'm surprised you, when you talked to Aaron, you sounded so upbeat after being in the hole for 40 days. You really got a good attitude, man.
Hey, you know, Moses had to go to the mountain 40 days, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's
man,
great,
listen,
man.
when I tell you the Father really, you know, every time they send me to the hole, I get so comfortable because of the stuff I'm being able to be shown because I'm not distracted. I don't want to leave. I just ask, look, let me stay up here. Just let me be able to make my phone calls. And, you know, man, oh, no, we're not going to. I said, no, listen. Since y'all don't want me, listen, let me stay up here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he was like, no. I said, but why? I said, well, now that I want to stay up here, why are you forcing me to go back down? I'm telling you, I'm fine back here. And then Lieutenant Balakou is like, Williams, he's like, you just strange. All the other animes be crying about going so they can watch TV. I'm like, I don't care enough about that TV. I said, man, it's me and my father in here. You know what I mean? So, and he's like, man, you just strange. You just strange.
Amen.
But yeah, I got your email about the Nickersons, you know, family.
Oh,
you know,
right.
And you know, I want to call you first, but they've already been evicted. The sheriff already put them out, though, right?
Yeah, they're camping out on their property. It's supposedly like I don't know how many acres, but it's pretty big, and they're camping out on a portion of their property, but they have been evicted from their home. You're right about that.
Okay, so do they have sheriffs there physically to stop them from going back to the house?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I bet they do have something. The sheriff kind of was on their side. They were fighting this for like 9 or 10 years. I mean, and you know, it's caused a big division in the Patriot community because they have a big website. I wish I could show you their website, man. But anyway, they say, the Nickersons say that they were prevented from making payments on their property because the bank wanted to foreclose and the bank wanted to take their property, and they were prevented from making their payments. But you know, the other
That's
side,
what they do.
yeah, right, and people don't understand that. I agree, but the other side says that they were just grifters, and you know, they're trying to act like a victim, and they just didn't want to make their payments. But the Nickersons are putting forward the story they were prevented from making their payments, and that's because the bank wanted to foreclose on their property. And I know that you're aware of, like, you know, I consider you like an expert. There's two guys, Anthony. One of them is you. Man, they're treating you really, really bad. They must hate people who go against the mortgage company and the banks. But there's another guy named Kurt Johnson who was putting out information. They got him in a special...
This call is from a federal prison.
They got Kurt Johnson in a special prison. They won't let him talk to his wife or his mother or anybody. They cut off communications with me altogether.
Yeah. See, I can vouch that the banks do that. What they'll do, they'll send your payment back. Because if they want that house, all they got to do is send 3 payments back. Once they get to the 3rd month, then they can go for default. And once they go for that default, you can come with the whole payment. You can have, listen, here's the cash to pay the whole property out. They won't accept it. Because they're going to make more money by evicting you out because they're going to get the insurance money. That's why I tell people, look, read your mortgage. There's a clause in there, usually it's either number 10 or they have it under letter M. It says mortgage insurance. And people think mortgage insurance is insurance that protects the property. No, that's property insurance. Mortgage insurance is insurance that's placed on the loan by the mortgage company. So if you default, they get paid the insurance however much the price of the house is. So, but guess who's making the premium payment for that? The homeowner. Because in your mortgage payment, there's four things that's taken out the mortgage payment. You got the principal, you got the interest, you got the taxes, and then you got the mortgage insurance. All that constitutes that one payment. So, in essence, the homeowner is paying for the insurance on the default of the loan. So if they have a hardship and they can't pay, the banks get paid by the insurance company the amount of the loan. So the loan is paid off. So by law, the family's supposed to get the house because the mortgage company has been paid. But what they do, they get the insurance money. They got the money paid for. Then they do eviction, evict you out, and then do the process over again with another unsuspecting homeowner.
Wow.
And this is what they're doing because they've never ever put up any money in the first place, because that promissory note that the homeowner signed, that actually pays for the house. That's why when you do a qualified written request and ask for the actual, the copy of the mortgage and the note, when you get a copy of it, you're gonna see it's gonna be either stamped on the front of that note or on the back. The bank is gonna stamp a stamp on it. It's gonna say, pay to the order of whatever name of that bank without recourse. Now, when you see anything that says pay to the order of, what is that? That's a money order.
Yeah.
That's a check.
Right.
That's right. So what they do, that note is actually money. That's why if you got your wallet, you got $1, $10, $100 in there, at the top of that dollar, that greenback, it says Federal Reserve note. It's a note. It's a negotiable instrument. So what they've done, they didn't trick every American person that gets a mortgage. You thinking the bank loaned you money? They didn't, because this is how I expose the fraud. So what I do, I send a first request for documents. I do a first request for answers and admissions. And what I ask them, listen, for my client, you said that you loaned them, $500,000 on December 7th, 2007. All I'm asking is you provide us your bank ledger that shows on this date your bank would deducted this amount of money to pay for this house on behalf of my client. None of them can ever do it because they don't have no record of it, because it didn't happen.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
that's the fraud.
Yeah.
And then what you do, you get the insurance once the homeowner can't pay. Now you done already got paid from the note, the promissory note. You got paid once for the promissory note. Then when you get the insurance money, you get paid again. Then when you auction and sell the house, you get paid again. Then you do a whole nother loan process with a whole nother person again and get that money again. We did a forensic loan audit on one of my clients. It was in 2013. We did it. This was a client. Their house was worth $500,000. We got a forensic loan audit. When we got the actual breakdown of the forensic loan audit, the bank had made $9 billion off that one house. Would keep doing mortgages on that one property. $9 billion.
Wow, that's insanity, man.
It's insane.
Yeah. The people that talk like you do and have the knowledge that you do, it seems like they really, really, really want to do everything they can to silence you guys, and they'll make up any charges to keep you in prison, put you in the hole, stop you from making phone calls, stop you from receiving letters.
Right.
It's insanity, man. And
right. You seen the website that they took, that my website I did that he took down, right?
Yeah. I was telling Aaron, like, some of the most professional websites I've ever seen, and I put together a few websites myself. Man, you had the talent to put together. It was like very educational, very professional. You were making an impact. I think that's why they had to come after you, because you were getting people educated on all of this mortgage fraud and banking fraud,
right.
and they had to take you out, man.
I got some documents that Rosie's gonna be sending you.
Okay.
And I'm gonna do a summary on these ones I'm gonna send her. But it's documents to show you that the judges here,
Yep.
and the prosecutors and the attorneys, they're getting paid by the mortgage company. This is what they're doing. The mortgage company is allowing them to take out mortgages, and they're satisfying and releasing their mortgages within 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, or a year. I'm talking about 2 and 3 mortgages satisfied within months.
Wow. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. Hey, I need to send you a printout if they'll let you have it. It's called Bribery Sanctioned in Federal Code, and it's from a friend of mine who's an author, and he found in federal code where if you help get a conviction on like some kind of domestic terrorist or outlaw, that's how they describe you guys, that they can give the judge, they can give the prosecutor, they can give the DOJ, like investigator, up to $25,000 for their participation in helping take down this criminal. And that's how they incentivize all of this wicked people within the FBI and the DOJ, and even judges can get paid up to $25,000 for convictions on who they consider, like a domestic terrorist or some kind of, criminal outlaw. Anybody who goes against the banking and mortgage company, man, you guys are always like, targeted by these companies.
Yeah. Send me that. Definitely send me that.
Okay. Yeah. I'll get it to you, man. I got a printout of it, and I've been sending it around. It's very good find. I'll send you that in the United States Code. Also, Anthony, while I got you on the phone, man, I know this time goes by so quick, but On that trip to Hawaii, I want to be there to monitor your trial. I want to be there to see how how they conduct themselves. I want to be able to report. I think like make noise and shine light like Gideon's Army. If I can have eyeballs to see what they're doing, so I definitely don't mind coming to testify. But if it doesn't hurt you and it doesn't cost you in any way, I'll stay longer just to stay for the trial.
Right. Then that's what I was telling Aaron. I said, well, however long you want to stay, I can make provisions for them to house you for as long as you need to be here.
Okay, I don't have the money to pay for it myself, but if they can fund the cost, I would like to just report on the dang trial and tell everybody how they're going to try to railroad you. And I think they should allow you to have TV cameras in there to expose their wickedness and all these motion in limines. The motion in limine they put on your trial, they've already postponed it 8 times, I know, but you can't mention the Bible, you can't mention Scripture, you can't mention the name of the Lord, you can't mention the Constitution. How insane is that?
Right. Right. Exactly. But see, we got an appeal we get ready to put into the Ninth Circuit. Yeah. Because Kobayashi, she denied the media request. Which really she didn't have no right to deny it because I'm the so-called defendant in the case. I'm saying no, I want the camera, so the camera's not going to prejudice me. Because the only reason she could have denied it is if I was like, no, I don't want the cameras in there because it would prejudice me. I don't want people to see me. No, I want the people to see everything. I want everything to come out. I want the people to see what I did. I want the people to see what I was exposed. I want them to see why they babies bought bogus charges. And then you involved my mom. Then you indicted my mother.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's personal there. That's personal. Hey, let me share this with you. So we got a friend of ours. His name is Bryce Quellar. Had a YouTube channel with 200 million views, putting out all kinds of information on the New World Order and all kinds of good information, right? When he went to trial, they brought him out like Hannibal Lecter style. They had his handcuffs wrapped to his belly, and he had a belly chain and ankle chains, and they had the cameras in there. They didn't ask him at all, right? They had like Channel 5 Las Vegas News sticking a camera right in his face, calling him a domestic terrorist. So when they want to paint you as a criminal, when they want to try to, they put the cameras in the room. But but someone like you, man, it's like they don't want you talking in front of the cameras because you're going to be making so much dang sense. Like we can't have this guy speaking in front of the camera, So it's crazy.
And then see, I got the documentation to prove it too.
Yeah.
That's why I'm gonna have Rosie send you these mortgages of these judges, these attorneys here, and man, when you see this, you're gonna be like, wait a minute. How can you take out? I'm talking about some of them got it the next month. Like they get it this month, December, January, it's released and satisfied.
Wow. If they're getting kickbacks from the banks and mortgage companies for their homes and their role to prosecute you, man, they are wicked. There's a special hot fire in hell for those guys.
Yeah, they doing that. See, they not only that, but for those foreclosures, you know what I'm saying? They getting, kickbacks because, Kobayashi, she was a judge.
This call is from a federal prison.
One of my clients, I showed her, I had the documentation that the assignment of mortgage was fraudulent, all of that. And she still dismissed our case against the bank. She still dismissed it.
Wow, insanity.
And now this the same judge that's on my case?
Yeah.
That the same judge?
Yeah, that's crazy.
I filed her, I filed a motion to recuse, a motion to disqualify, and like, look, I can't trust that I can have a fair trial because you're the judge that dismissed my client's case when I showed you that there was fraud involved.
Right.
And she denied it. I appealed it to the chief justice here, and they still denied it. It's like, no, we still think she can be fair. How? This woman now, she's not even making the government respond to my motions because they can't.
Wow.
So she's like, they don't have to respond. The government don't have to respond to this motion. I'm going to rule on it without them. That's illegal.
Yeah.
They have to respond. You know what I mean? But see, does she know that if they respond to this, he wins? Because if they respond and lie, he got him. But if they respond and tell the truth, he got him. So no, I'm not going to make them respond at all. I'm not going to make them put nothing on the record.
Yeah. These judges are wicked. They're just wicked, man.
No, they wicked, man. They wicked. But yeah, I just heard the beef, so we got like 30 seconds. But man, like I told Aaron yesterday, Rudy, I really appreciate what y'all doing. Holding up the banner
Hey, we're praying for you, Anthony. We're running out of time. There's a Netflix documentary or some sort of documentary called Abacus Bank, and it's how the DOJ went after a Chinese immigrant bank because they refused to go after the big banks who are really creating mortgage fraud. I think it's really important regarding mortgage fraud. But man, we love you, Anthony. We're praying for you, and we're going to try to, do everything we can to get attention on your case, man.
All right, love you too, bro. And I'll probably call you again probably next week because I got enough minutes because I was in the shoe, so I still got enough minutes.
Oh, good. Okay, we lost Anthony. We got a webpage for Anthony. It's called yearofjubilee.com/Anthony. And he's got a ton of letters that we've put up there. He's written from prison. Looks like more information is going to be coming in. And this mortgage fraud thing goes very deep. There's a thing called too big to fail, so they refuse to go after all the big banks who were committing mortgage fraud out the wazoo. But there's another documentary called Abacus Immigrant Bank Fraud or something. The name of the documentary is called Abacus, and just look up bank. And it's called Small Enough to Jail. And it shows how the DOJ had to do something, but they couldn't go after the big banks, so they went after this small Chinese bank. And you'll see how wicked the DOJ is. It's just a pattern of wickedness. And everything that Anthony is talking about is true. And there's, as far as I'm concerned, the banks and the Department of Justice and the mortgage companies, they're all wicked. And they're all about, the love of money is the root of all evil. And they're about stealing property. And when you think about forged documents or trying to foreclose on someone's property and not letting them pay, that doesn't surprise me one little bit. God bless you guys. And please write Anthony a letter. Let him know you care about him. They had him 40 days in the hole. I mean, how would you like to spend 40 days in the hole? And when he gets out, he sounds upbeat. You kidding me? I mean, if I was 40 days in the hole, I'd be grumpy. Anthony spends 40 days in the hole. He comes out sounding upbeat. Take care. God bless.